You ready?
Yeah.
Well, football is back, and so is the 2-minute drill after a week off. Here we go. This is Ricky Moore. I'm with Centennial football coach Kyle Geller, and this is your 2-minute drill. First, coach, let's talk about the loss at Boswell, double overtime. Y'all kick a field goal, and then they go down to score. Quick thoughts on that game?
Well, we put the ball on the ground 3 times, and I think that was the story of the game because we moved it great, scored quite a few points, and we just put our defense in a bad position 3 different times, and they actually held them out one time under very extreme conditions. So I was proud of the way our defense played. I thought they did. The score doesn't indicate that, but they really, they slowed Boswell down, and they played well enough to win. We just got to make sure that we take care of the football.
Also, the last drive in regulation was a pretty sweet drive for your offense, considering you're not one to, kind of speed it down the field.
Yeah. To be able to throw the ball, we had a really good composure, I thought, during that drive. Peyton handled himself pretty good. It helped to get that face mask penalty at that one point, but to make that pass and for Dylan to run a good route like that and score with 16 seconds left showed a lot of poise.
If anything, your last 2 games in non-district play have tested you and got you used to overtime. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'd rather not be in overtime, to be honest. I'd rather just win in regulation, but they sure are sweet when you win, and they sure are tough when you lose.
And it's something you can play on later in the season, maybe if you end up in a overtime situation.
Yeah, you hope that the experience helps them. I thought it helped us in the last overtime game. Our kids they just went out and played, and unfortunately, we kicked, after exchanging the 2 touchdowns, we kicked a field goal, and they they scored a touchdown. My son, after the game, came up to me and told me, "Dad, you got to kick, or you can't kick field goals. You got to score touchdowns." So, I just kind of shook my head and said, "Yeah, he's right."
So everybody criticizes Coach.
Well,
even family.
He said we can all learn from it. He was right.
Let's talk about you play Everman at home. You're back home after 2 weeks on the road. 7:30 Friday night, Burleson ISD Stadium. Y'all are both 2-1, and you beat them last year. Quick thoughts on Coach Keeling's team at Everman?
Yeah, they're always going to be a good team. That their running back is one of the all-time rushing leaders in Texas. He's just a super player, and so we have to tackle well on defense. We really, and then what they do, they play that I-wing offense and run a lot of buck sweep and zone plays, and they have a good system, and they know what they want to do versus what you're doing to them, and so you have to fit the puzzle. You have to get your eyes on the right player to tell you what you're supposed to be doing and that kind of thing. Play blocks well, pursue well, and really, we're going to have to tackle because that, crossing can make you look silly.
Plus, you've had 2 weeks to get ready, but they've had 2 weeks to get ready for your offense, which is not something anybody sees around, especially in district play or anywhere.
Yeah.
Quick thoughts on, the keys to the game?
I told our team throughout this week, number one, we have to make sure we protect the football, and we got to get a turnover or 2 from our defense or on special teams. So that's number one. Number 2, we have to win the line of scrimmage. They're a little bit bigger this year than they were last year. Our defensive line's really going to have to play low, and then offensively we better come off the ball, and that's what we do. It doesn't change from week to week. It's not like this week we better come off the ball. We better come off the ball no matter who we play. It's the nature of our offense. So we have to win the line of scrimmage, and then number 3, I talked to our team yesterday about special teams. You know, last year we returned a kickoff for almost a touchdown down the 3-yard line on the opening kickoff, and it just kind of set the tempo for the game. And so getting a big play on special teams and preventing mistakes on special teams, just being good fundamentally, I think will be a big factor.
Cannon's on crutches. Who will replace him returning kicks?
Well, we have a number of guys that we rotate. We have Kelton Tizino, Dylan Payne, Jalen Freeman. We have a number of guys that we can put back there.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Coach, you got a phone call, so this is Ricky Moore, and we are out.